hands, who in this room has heard the phrase writer's block before? Okay, just gauge and make sure we got some good high school English trauma in the room. Excellent. For those of you who aren't familiar with this phrase, writer's block is what happens when a poet or a writer sits down at their desk and for whatever reason they just can't get their ideas out onto the page. Right? It's what happens when the writer feels blocked. Seems simple enough, right? But here's what most people misunderstand about writer's block. Writer's block almost never comes from a lack of ideas, but a fear that the ideas we do have won't succeed. And spoiler alert, that's a condition that's not specific to writers at all. Every craft, whether it's poetry, pottery, painting, or indeed our efforts to innovate on our financial operations, are liable to this condition in which we get so wrapped up in the fear that our ideas can't be turned into anything or earn us a seat at the table that we refuse to try anything new if we don't know for certain that what comes out is going to be perfect. If you've ever considered picking up a new hobby, giving honest feedback to someone on your team, or championing a change in process to your stakeholders, but didn't because you worried about what would happen if it went wrong or you screwed up, you've experienced writer's block in its purest form. Writer's block is not a lack of ideas, but a fear that we can't turn our ideas into anything. And ironically, no more common is a condition like that than in a room like this, where you and your colleagues are so competent and so high achieving that you demand a level of perfection out of yourselves. And look, I understand, you in particular navigate a universe of intense regulatory scrutiny, and your ability to thrive in that environment is why you're in this room today. But unfortunately, the same standards to which you owe your success are the standards that put you at risk of never discovering all you're capable of as a leader, as an innovator, as a person. So what can we do? Well, in poetry, the best way to overcome perfectionism is by embracing the exact opposite. And so poets embrace imperfectionism. And imperfectionism is exactly what it sounds like. It's a word that I just made up. But it's also what happens when a poet stops aiming for a masterpiece when they pick up their pen and they instead learn to aim for the trash can. Poets aim for the trash can. Poets pull their most uninspiring, cliche, clunky ideas out onto the page and give those ideas just as much breathing room as their good ones. I know that sounds goofy, but here's the thing. An artist's best work is rarely planned. An artist's best work is more often discovered. And the way they discover it is by sorting through enough of their own terrible or clunky ideas and attempts that one day they happen to stumble upon the perfect, terrible idea. The one that mostly stinks right now, but that has some potential to being grown into something worth sharing with the world if you just stick with and nurture it long enough. So here's the deal. I could talk all day about imperfectionism and aim for the trash can, but it's probably more fair that I attempt to show you what I mean. So, deep breath for my sake, because this might get kind of weird for me.